This episode was brought to you by Surfshark. For 83% off a 2-year plan, visit surfshark.deals/penguin.
Initiating moisture.
For a while, DC movies were a joke and everyone just kind of went to laugh at them or just be utterly disappointed to see characters they love ruined on the big screen. They had movies like Batman vs. Superman, Justice League, and Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, I still believe, is just an utter hemorrhoid of a movie and probably the worst superhero movie of the last 20 years. Just truly abominable work for quite a while. They went on this impressive streak of just terrible movies. But now they've really started to turn it around. I don't know who the fuck they fired at DC headquarters, but great decision in that department because the movies they've been pumping out have been pretty much bangers, and Birds of Prey is another good movie into this hot streak. It's not great, it's not as good as the other DC movies that have come out recently, Aquaman, Shazam, and such, but it is a good movie. The best part about this movie is the decision they made to bring the team behind John Wick to do their action scenes for this one. That was extremely smart because that's the best part about Birds of Prey is the action scenes. The action scenes are so beautifully choreographed with really exciting set pieces, and every action scene has its own unique style to it. It's just really enjoyable, so huge props to the John Wick action choreography department for what they've done here because it absolutely shines in this movie. In particular, Harley Quinn. She's the most fun to watch in a fight because she's constantly flipping around and shit. It looks like Cirque du Soleil. She's doing like fucking head spins like in WWE, and then she's like breakdancing on top of people's heads to snap their neck. It's some crazy shit, and it's really enjoyable to watch. The second best part about Birds of Prey is their decision to totally distance itself from Suicide Squad. I expected this movie to be a disaster because it's following the worst superhero movie that Hollywood has ever puked out, Suicide Squad. I thought there'd be a tight connection. I thought we'd be seeing a lot more of Jared Leto's despicable performance as the Joker. But then immediately they let you know you're not even going to see him. You don't even see a fucking snippet of him. You don't see a fucking reflection of him, which is great. A great decision because he was terrible. Even DC divorced themselves from Jared Leto's Joker, which is the smartest thing they could have done. The movie immediately picks up after Harley Quinn and Joker break up, and it's about her dealing with being alone now, being her own woman and coming into her own identity instead of just being the sidekick to the Joker. And they explore it pretty well. Margot Robbie does a good job both in the emotional side of things and the quips, I suppose, even though I think that's really tired. They do way too much of that, and I think it just becomes oversaturated. It's overblown. You're fucking blasting my ass with constant Harley Quinn isms, and it's just too much at a certain point. But when they were doing the emotional stuff, I felt like she delivered a great performance, and I just couldn't be happier that it doesn't have a tight connection to Suicide Squad. I am so glad we don't have to deal with anything that movie tried to do or set up, and let's just totally fucking forget that it ever happened, like X-Men Origins Wolverine. Those are the two best parts of the movie by far. The things I didn't like about the movie was the narrative. The narrative is simple. There's nothing wrong with the narrative. You know, a pickpocket steals a diamond. She's a kid, and now that diamond was really important, so everyone's after the kid, and they're after Harley Quinn because they want to kill her because they don't like her. Simple stuff, but I don't like the way they delivered the narrative, especially in the beginning, because the movie started out with, here's some shit going on, and then Harley Quinn, as she's narrating, breaking the fourth wall, says, wait just a minute. You don't know what's going on. Let's rewind a week so I can tell you what's going on. I was, queefing in the bathroom, and then I ordered this burrito taco, and wacky stuff. And then it catches itself up, and she says, wait, just a minute, here's a character you don't know. Let's back up 4 days and tell you about this character. And then you watch that shit, and then it catches back up. Wait a minute, it's just fucking frustrating at a certain point, and it gets a little convoluted. It's unnecessary. I think it just tried really hard to be a bit wacky, which absolutely cost it in the narrative department. There's really nothing wrong with it, and I really like the characters they introduced, Canary, Huntress, and especially Ewan McGregor as Roman Sionis. I really enjoyed Ewan, at least for the beginning part of the movie, because he was really fucking feeling himself. He was clearly having a lot of fun just being this hammy character, cartoonishly evil. I'm surprised he didn't have a handlebar mustache that he was twirling for half the movie, because his shit was just comically overbearing evil. Like, he peels people's fucking faces off. And then he was going to let someone go and then peels their face off because he didn't like the snot in their nose. It's some goofy shit, and I love the way McGregor played it. I thought it was super enjoyable. He was great, but towards the end of the movie, they just never gave it a rest, and so it just became a little too much and a little again, the same problem they had with Harley Quinn, just too fucking much of what made them good. It starts to make you want to roll your eyes, which is a shame, but still, I enjoyed it. There's nothing wrong with the movie fundamentally. I don't think it's like a bad movie, but there's absolutely some things that I think are flawed with it, mainly in its storytelling and just in the way they handle the humor, because I think the comedy just doesn't land all that often. It tries to do that XD random shit from like a decade ago where she's obsessed with food. Like, oh, this is the perfect egg sandwich. An egg sandwich so great it'll make your mother shit her pants. Oh, no, I didn't get to eat my egg sandwich. I lost what I truly love. Damn you. Shit like that. I don't care for that. And that's like the main way they do humor in this movie. I don't think the dialogue for comedy is strong. But during their action scenes, they throw in some physical comedy, and I think that works. So that might be the John Wick team again, who knows? But anything involving physicality in this movie, I thought worked beautifully, including the comedy that they wove in to their action scenes. There's one more thing I feel I need to mention when talking about this movie. It's not like the Charlie's Angels reboot, where in the Charlie's Angels reboot, literally the first fucking scene is some misogynistic asshole saying, women can't do half the things a man can do. Can a woman make a car go fast? No, only the calloused grease hands of a man can do that. Just misogynistic shit like that. Birds of Prey isn't that kind of movie. It doesn't do those kind of things. Yeah, the main villain is a misogynistic asshole, but he's also a fucking guy that you're supposed to hate who peels the faces off of people and has no problem killing kids. It's not at all like Charlie's Angels reboot, which is good. So plugging Birds of Prey into the moist meter, giving this a fat 70%, I think it's just an all-around enjoyable movie where the best parts of it is the action. And luckily there's a lot of action. And yeah, I really did enjoy it, which is, I didn't expect to just because of how bad Suicide Squad is, but I was pleasantly surprised, and great decision to bring in the John Wick team. Fuck yeah. The internet can be a scary place. You don't need me to tell you about that. I don't need to gather you around the campfire and tell you internet horror stories or anything. But I think it's worth noting, how can you protect yourself? That's why I want to talk about Surfshark. Surfshark is a very robust VPN. I'm sure all of us are familiar with VPNs these days because they're pretty much a necessity at this point. We all know the privacy benefits, the security benefits. Surfshark helps encrypt all of your data sent over the internet, so it protects your messages and everything in that regard. But also, aside from just the security benefits you get using a VPN, you're also able to help yourself in the entertainment world. Let's say Netflix has region locked your favorite show to a place you're not in. You can use VPN Surfshark to change your location to that area and watch that show. No hassle, it's simple, it's easy, and Surfshark VPN is extremely robust. It also comes with a whitelist feature, so that way if it doesn't accidentally block something you want to access, you can always whitelist whatever you want, which is a great feature that I really appreciate. So if you're interested, you can go to surfshark.deal/penguin to get 83% off a 2-year plan plus 1 extra month free. That's surfshark.deal/penguin for 83% off that 2-year plan and a free month, baby.